Salute to NBA Nation on this Monday afternoon. Another edition of the NBA Report. We got CP the Franchise, Alex Shataros on the other side. Special guest, Al. You know, those Orlando Magic, they're 14-6. And right now it's a good time as we approach the quarter season mark to check in on that squad with my guy, none other than one half of the Knuckleheads podcast. He also is an in-studio analyst for the Orlando Magic for Bally Sports Southeast. My guy, Quentin Richardson, is in the building. Q, how you feeling, man? Good to see you, bro.
I'm good, man. I appreciate y'all having me.
Absolutely. Definitely appreciate the time. 14-6 on this campaign. I mean, are you surprised to see this team off to the hot start that they are?
I'm not, man. I'm happy to see it. I can't say that I'm like totally shocked because I think Coach Mosley, he's been building this, man. He started, his whole philosophy is based on defense and having a defensive mindset. And we got, Jeff Weltman have done a great job putting this team together over the last few years. I think this is, as solid as they've been since, the whole Dwight regime left. And I've been here in Orlando ever since. And we looking up, man. I'm really, really excited about this team. We got a lot of young pieces and we moving, man.
With the defense, from the second half of last season, it started to take form, and now going into the season, this season, they're one of the tops in the league. What have you seen specifically in terms of how that defense has evolved since last year up until now?
Man, when you install principles, you always got something to fall back on, man. You know what I'm saying? They come into the game knowing they have a symmetry with certain things. These guys have been around each other a couple years. They've been learning under Coach Mosley, and, the new guys are taking to it the right way. And I think, when you got young guys playing hard, and I think that's the key. That's the biggest thing for us, that our guys go out there and compete every night. You don't see lopsided scores with our team. People ain't coming in Orlando and just slapping us around and things like that. Like, when you come here, you better be ready because these young boys they dogs out there, man. They going to get it. That's the part I love. It like, no matter who it is, like, I know that we gonna come out and fight. I didn't always feel that way when I was going into work. Now I know, like, it's gonna be respect up in here because these young boys strap up for real.
And Q, for one of the bigger reasons that the Magic have been able to take this leap this season is Paolo Banchero. What have you seen from him this season that you didn't see last year? And do you think Team USA helped him grow as a player?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that helped. Obviously, I mean, everybody always, when you come off of those type of things, that's like a springboard into the season because you fresh playing. You don't gotta, rev it up and get into mid-season. Like, he coming in ready to go. But I think the biggest difference from him last year to this year was, like, last year, he was feeling his way out early, even though he was going crazy. He was just still learning. That was the scary part. But now, at the start of this year, he came out with he had the target on his back, and he had to adjust to that, to now being at the top of the scouting report, being, a guy. He's the dude. He's one. Him and Franz are like, the top two guys on the team. So now what we are a little bit into the beginning of the year, but now he's to that comfort zone to where now he like he's assuming that role like of the man on the team. Like, even though it's a funny dynamic these guys got because it's not, they all so young, it's not like a hierarchy type thing. It doesn't matter. Like, legit, like Cole Anthony might come out and get 30 and everybody still is happy. It's like you don't see some of the glares and some of the things. I've been in the league and been around it long enough to know when everything ain't all good. Like, these dudes really rock with each other and they really play for each other. So I think that's one of the biggest and best things we got going.
Yeah, that dynamic, like you said, is very interesting because you have Paolo. He's shooting it well from the field. He's like 40% from three, 48% from the field, but 19 points per game. Then you got Franz leading the team with about 20. Cole Anthony's been averaging like 17 off the bench. So it just seems like night in and night out, they're trusting each other to just go with what's hot and just carry it to wins, man. Doesn't seem like, and that's what I like about them is that even though they're a young team, it doesn't seem like they have much ego, like Jamal Mosley wants them to be themselves, but it seems like everybody's kind of bought into their role, which is very impressive for a young team.
No, absolutely. It's very impressive and very rare, if you ask me. I mean, it's a young coach who Coach Jamal Mosley hasn't been at the head coaching position that long. He's been in the league and earning his stripes for a very long time, but to see how he's got these guys competing and playing and to see how receptive they are to his style and what he's doing, it's amazing because, a lot of times you don't you don't see a young coach really hit it off with young talent and things like that because everybody want to do whatever. But these guys, they respect them, man. They playing hard. And the other thing that why we're playing so well is like you talk about Paolo playing in the World Championship. People forget Franz and Mo was on the championship winning team, so they were out there as well, balling and doing work. And now you see them two; they're big focal point. I mean, obviously you said Franz is averaging 20, but like I bet anybody that Mo Wagner comes off the bench with as much or more energy than anybody else in the entire NBA. He is a fool. He like, you know what I'm saying? he don't care. He's an agitator. He's gonna play hard. He's gonna, you know what I'm saying? He's the worst dude you want to see on the second night of a back-to-back, and you don't feel like really bumping because he gonna force it. He's gonna force it, like, and he's changed so many games with his energy. So Mo is a huge piece for us.
I remember we talked about him on Knicks Fan TV last year, and you really put him in high regard as kind of being that spark plug, and you could see it. You could certainly see it on the court. You watch how they played in FIBA with him and his brother. You could see that impact as well.
Yeah.
And with Franz, he's another guy, you know, from a maturity standpoint. I mean, it just seems like now, later in the games, they're trusting him more on both ends. He's taking on tougher assignments. He's taking on those tough wing assignments. And then offensively, being a guy that they can go to, play off of Paolo in the two-man game. It seems like Franz is really taking another step up in year two.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's way more comfortable at that point forward position, handling, coming off, doing what he does. And the thing about him is, like you say, they can trust him down the stretch because not only can he come off and find shots and get to the lane and do everything, he can pass. He passes extremely well, and he's a good person to come off and find people. And like you say, him and Paolo, they just getting started, man. That's the coolest thing about it. Like, these is two young studs in the league, and they really, I get to watch every day, every game as they growing and learning each other and getting better and better.
For sure, but there's another guy that's been making his mark this season, and he's had a slow start, and that's Jalen Suggs, Q-Rich. Like, I've been really impressed with his jumper this season. You know, the thing is that he always came in with like that defensive mindset, right? Especially when out of college. But the offensive side was where he had biggest questions. Has that been like the biggest surprise for you so far for Suggs this season?
I think sometimes it just takes people a little longer to get, you know, comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was in college, he was kind of all world, kind of did his thing, had the ball, and he was kind of the focal point. Then you come here and you ask to do something different. And so, like you said, the one thing that he carried over for him is he competes defensively. He is a dog. I don't care who you. I watch him. Like, these guys in the league these days, they don't fight over screens. I watched him the other day fight over one, fight back over, and still get into him and spinning around and contest. Like, he a dog defensively. But I think he definitely went and worked on his jump shot this summer because that's been I think just his confidence in it is different. Like the no hesitation when he pulling up and when he's sure of himself when he's making different moves. And I think all of that comes with just he's got a lot of games on his belt. He's getting more and more mature in the game. But I think he's just getting more confident, man, because he's seeing the things how they work for him. So I think he's getting confident in his jump shot and he's attacking the basket. He's scoring, you know, better than he's ever scored in the league right now.
Well, for sure, he's shooting at 37%. Go ahead, CP.
Yeah, no, I was just doing a quick reset. Once again, we're talking to Quentin Richardson, one half of the Knuckleheads podcast, also in studio analyst for the Orlando Magic for Bally Sports Southeast. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. Q, what have you made of? I mentioned Cole Anthony earlier in the show. 17 points per game in his last 10. What have you made of his transition to the Magic bench? Seems like things are kind of clicking for him right now. What's been your perspective since he's gone to the bench?
Man, I love Cole Anthony, man. Like, that boy, littlest dude on the court with the biggest heart. He ain't backing down from nothing. He going up catching lobs. The biggest thing that I think nobody talk about with him is how well he rebounds. He rebounds like crazy, whether it's tip dunks, whether it's defensive rebounds, going in there, like jumping high. Remind me a little Nate Robb with some of the elevation he gets on just random rebounds. And then, like, he's constantly in there. But, like, Cole, man, he's the perfect pro because he's egoless about the starting situation. He knows that he's going to still play a huge chunk of the minutes. And if he's playing well, he's got a chance to finish the game. And the best part about it is that I love his joy and the excitement he brings to the team. And not only when he's in the game, when he's on the bench and something crazy happens, he's the first one. Timeout come, he the first one coming high five. And, you know, when you around it enough, you know when it's genuine and it's fake. You can only fake for so long. This is a consistent, constant thing with Cole. And so, like, he's bought in, he re-signed, and he's a part of a situation where he's a part of a core group of guys that's trying to build something and win something, and he's really in that. He's in that core group, so he feels that, and he's a part of something. Like, it doesn't matter who started. That's why I say this team is they got a lot of humility within them because they genuinely cheer for each other. I listen to them after the games when we talking to them in post game, the comments they make, the way they talk about each other, the way they talk about enjoying being around each other. Like, that's rare, man, and that means something.
Yeah, that chemistry is certainly a plus, especially around this league. And in terms of, you play for a lot of teams in which the 3-point shot was his hallmark. A lot of emphasis on 3-point attempts. But this Magic team is kind of the converse to that. They're getting theirs from inside the paint. They're getting theirs on the defensive end. What have you seen in terms of just their, I don't know if it's necessarily the scheme. Is it a lack of three-point shooting? But what have you seen in terms of their offensive philosophy so far this year?
I mean, I think, that's not the exact makeup of our team. We got guys that can shoot the three, but we don't have like a bunch of high volume shooting 3-point guys. We got, Paolo and Franz are basically, I call them Range Rovers. They can do whatever. You can give them the ball, you can ice them, you can post them, they can drive, they can shoot. So, they're not like, spot ups guys or like, snipers or anything like that. So, for us, I think that's what works for us. We press up hard, play defense. And we have our game where we go off hitting threes like everybody else and shooting them crazy. But that's not our team's strong suit. So we play to our strengths. You know what I'm saying? We execute really well. I think we share the ball. The crazy thing is we're doing this well, and Markelle has been out. Big Wendell Carter has been out. And those are two starters. They bring a lot to the team, and they haven't been there. So, we just been in a situation where, like I say, Jeff Wellman has put together a good roster where we got some great depth and guys are stepping up and making the most of it.
How do you figure for Markelle to fit back into this rotation? Because that was the whole conversation this offseason, was that Magic have a lot of guards, guard heavy. Is there going to be enough minutes for everybody? How is Fultz going to be able to work his way back in?
Fine. Anthony, like, hey, listen, Fultz is a killer now. He cold. He not, you know what I'm saying? He ain't nothing to like just think like he a boy. So when he come back, he just gonna, you know how it is. They do their thing, practice him and get him ready. But I think when he's ready to go, he'll fit right back in. Because again, he's another guy who plays. He has the same identity. He's not gonna come in and start doing something where he disrupts the rhythm, like he trying to be said, like he's a pass first guy, he's a defensive guy that gets up, and if anything, he helps us out transitionally because he flies up and down. So getting him back is going to be a plus. But in his absence, Anthony Black has been obscenely, impressive to me. I love this young kid. I think he's going to have a great, great, bright future. And yeah, we got a lot of young talent, man, for real. Especially you said, the guards.
That's another guy I wanted to ask about, because I liked him coming out of college, Anthony Black, because he's been like that connector. He kind of got that Lonzo moniker. What have you seen from Black this season that's been impressive to you?
Like, he comes straight in 6'7", 6'8" defender. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, before anything else, his defense is miles ahead of his offense. And that's not saying that his offense isn't good. Because, like, he's not a great 3-point knockdown shooter or anything, but he ain't one of those guys that's scared to shoot. He'll pull that thing in a heartbeat if he open. He's not, somebody who's like, oh, he can't shoot. He's going to get better at shooting because he's not afraid to shoot. He's not somebody whose jump shot's like broken and it's like something in his head. So he going to be fine. I've seen him make threes, but the biggest thing is like, kid 6'7", 6'8", and he tough. And he, you know what I'm saying? He defense first. And like that length be a problem for guys. I see it. And, like going to the hole, like he got that, getting to the basket, scoring, dunking, finishing, doing different things, passing. All that's gonna come later, but like the plus that he bring when you come in the door 6'7", 6'8", and you a point guard, and you can run an offense, you can do that, but then you can defend, you locking up, picking up full court. He picks up full court, turning guys, like, you know what I'm saying, not just some token, I'm here, like, nah, he getting in it, trying to get steals and working you. So like he gonna be all right, man. He getting a great foundation starting off here with Coach Mosley. He learning defense, and then he played in college. He played for NBA coach, so he had that little, you know what I'm saying, that little seasoning on him already. And he coming in the door. He tough minded kid.
Mm. And you know, Jamal Mosley talked about with their hot start, he wants to now show these guys or see how they handle that success, early success. Yeah. How do they adjust now? They're not going to be the hunter. Now they're going to be the hunted. What do you think about that just from your own experience, your playing days? You know, you've been on teams jump out the gates hot first quarter, and then, but it's a long season. It's an 82-game season. So what do you think about that in regards to this Orlando team?
No, I think they'll be fine. I mean, you never know what the rest of the season will hold and how they'll do and what their record gonna be. But whatever happens, I don't think, like, you know, if they start losing more games or something, I don't think any of it will be because they getting big-headed or they feeling themselves or something. Like, this is I think they're, you know, a humble group, or just a group of young guys out here having fun, man. Like, I think the city is really getting behind them now. They loving it. Like, you see our fan base it's got something solid that I think they could get behind and cheer for. And I mean, these some of the loudest fans, you know what I'm saying, the NBA has. So I'm happy for the fans and I'm happy for the organization that, you know, it's finally coming around to where we got a product, man. We got something that's present right now and that you could look forward to what they're gonna grow into and become. So I mean, I don't think, you know, the makeup of the team, man, when you look at Franz, like when you go to the two leaders, when you just look at Franz and Paolo, they not no front runners. You know what I'm saying? They even kill. They don't be out here high side like Paolo barely talk unless he really get excited. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Franz too, they'll get excited and get hyped and get emotional. But like, that's what I like about these guys. These dudes ain't out here like doing it for the gram and doing all of this. Like, they out here really working and trying to get better at hoop. Like, hoop is first for them. That's what I like about this team.
Yeah, so you keep talking about how these guys are humble, the camaraderie is there and all this, but there just seems like there's a big chip on their shoulder this season. Do you feel that, Q?
I mean, I think that's just how they built, man. When you look at some of the guys individually, like, you was who you was when you got here, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they competitive dudes. That's why, you know what I'm saying, and it carry over and you see who is and who not. And if you not, they didn't shuffle the deck and kind of cleared that out of there. Now it's all like-minded dudes that like to get to it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody not doing that, you gonna sit down and somebody gonna come in and you might not get back in, bro. Like, these dudes is playing hard and like they get into a position with the team where, like, we got Jet Howard in the G League getting 30s every other night, bro. Like, Jet Howard a bucket waiting to happen, but he it's so, like, you know what I'm saying? We in a situation where, like, they ain't been like this in a long time where they got so much talent that they got talent in the G League going crazy. You know what I'm saying? The boy Traveling had 37 last night too. Like, we got a good situation going where it's like it's competitive over there. This ain't sweet right now. Like, and I watched KG and Paul talk about it on their show. Like, you ain't come to Orlando on no BS no more. And that ain't saying that these guys have arrived and they still got a long way to go. But I'm talking about from the standpoint of the respect that you gonna act accordingly when you come here. Like, it's a pro team and y'all about to have to strap up. Not to say that nobody ain't gonna come in here and win it, but look, it's serious though. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't you ain't flying to work in and chilling out here no more like that. You about to go ahead and strap up tonight. And I think, you know what I'm saying, they done made it that way. Our fans show up, they rowdy, and our team is doing the things they supposed to do. And like I say, when you lead with a defensive mindset, that's tough, bro. The league know that they gonna defend. If nothing else, they might not do this. They gonna defend, or they gonna defend and play hard. And that's a cool thing to have on to hang your hat on.
Coming a scrap, and salute to our guy, the Rhyme Animal Chuck D in the chat. $10 super chat says,
"Hey, Chuck D."
He said, man, I've been scared of Q Rich's team, the Orlando Magic, the last 3 years as a Knicks fan. This team is an issue. Yeah, he's right. Every year we play the Magic, Chuck is like, yo, I'm telling you about those boys. So, yeah, Chuck been knowing about it, man. He said the team is an issue. Knucklehead Knicks, salute to Q Rich. So, salute to the Rhyme Animal Chuck.
Hey, man, salute Chuck D, man, the legend.
Never misses a show. But, yeah, I think, they're definitely in a good spot. Almost like to where OKC is right now, where it's just like, they are rebuilding, but they're competitive right now. As you said, they got players in the farm system on the come up. The coaches seem to really have it settled in with the culture, and in conjunction with management. Jamal Mosley, he was very supportive of the player development staff and the analytics team, talking about how they've collaborated to really build that culture. And when you start with Paolo and Franz as your two pillars, man, and to see how they're contributing on those rookie scale deals, that's the start of something, man. That's the start. Those true contenders, that's usually where it starts. It's that homegrown talent that you could build around.
Hey, and the new facility they got, bro, the practice facility they got, I ain't never seen nothing like that. League wide, they went crazy. Listen, like that's another reason why them boys, that's all they doing. I live up in there too. I'll be up in there morning, noon, night and day hooping. Like I'm telling you, it's like it's so plush, it's crazy. Like how Ocho Cinco say he lived in the arena. Like these boys can really live there. They got like It's like on some Google nap areas, with all of this stuff. Like it's crazy. Nice. It's like that up in there. This thing is crazy. The first day I showed up immediately. I said, what is this? I'm like, what is going on?
Where
like,
am I right now?
This is, I'm telling you, like, it's crazy. Y'all get a chance. They did like a thing, like y'all watch the tour. That it's crazy, and it's massive. It's right across from the real arena. It's like, it's crazy. They went crazy with that. And the arena is brand new still, really. The arena was my first year here was the arena. Like, it ain't even older, but they look, they did that. They got them boys over there living lavish in the practice facility. I ain't holding you. They living it up.
Sounds like Q Rich wants to go back to his playing days and go play for a while.
Hey, listen.
Well, you know what? And we talked before we started the show. They missed the in-season tournament by just a hair. What do you think about this think now in-season tournament? I mean, what do you think about the whole concept and what do you think? It's quarterfinal games.
It's been dope. I think, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at it, even right now, these quarterfinal games, you ain't heard nobody caring or putting emphasis or hyping up or talking about what these games right now in December 4th, 5th mean in the NBA season. Like, the point, what they were trying to do, I think they passed it with flying colors. Like, you know what I'm saying? From the standpoint, now I'm going to be honest, I don't like the courts, but the one thing they achieve is as soon as you turn on the TV, you like, wait a minute, what's going on? Something is different. Like this, what's happening tonight? Why is this look? You know what I'm saying? So like they immediately they hit all their checkpoints on everything. And then it's like the stars, you hear the LeBrons, the Lillards, everybody making comments about it in a positive way, you know what I'm saying, and bigging it up. And any games you watch, they all been competitive. The in-season tournament games in particular, they all been competitive. It's like these dudes really hooping. So it's like, to me, they achieved what they wanted to achieve with putting more emphasis on the regular season and having people take it more serious. And I mean, from a fan standpoint, you can't be nothing but excited about it. I mean, unless your team lost and like me, the Orlando didn't make it, but I'm still, as far as like just from an NBA fan standpoint, I still love every time that I get hyped when the in-season tournament games on, because I feel like they compete in this 1-point games, overtime games, buzzer beaters, you know what I'm saying, all of that. And it's like, you see, like, I'm like, look, that 500 put that battery in them boys, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't mad at it. I'll be right out there with them. That's right, 500, like, hey, team, don't take away my pocketbook money. Like, hey.
Who you got? Who you got winning this thing, man? A couple of your old teams in the mix. Who you got?
Man, listen, I don't know right now. That Tatum looking scary, man.
Yeah.
Boston and Tatum looking scary. I feel like he's taking another step this year where, like, because like now I'm watching him, he maneuvering different, whereas where he used to get stopped in certain situations coming off, now he getting to the hole at will, and he getting the bucket in the foul. Like, so now he's not dependent on that jumper as much, and he's starting to really start to use his strength and show he didn't, he been lifting weights the last couple of years. He didn't get stronger, but I don't know. And KP, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't sold on that trade at first, you know what I'm saying? Because I felt like both of them, like, KP get hurt a lot too, even though I understood what, you know what I'm saying? With
calf injury right now.
He out, he done. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's crazy that he got hurt this year and he done for the year. But like with KP, like I ain't never had a problem with him if he healthy. If he healthy, he a dude. He could hoop. He a problem and all that. But like, I don't know, man. When they got that Drew Holiday, that might have
Game
been
changer.
the
Yeah, it's a game changer.
was the move that put everything like, oh, that was crazy right there. And we all know what he is and what he does and the glue guy that he and because you still got Derek White, you know what I'm saying? Like when you did that, it got Drew Holiday. To me, that kind of put them in that space where it's like, dang. That might have been the move they needed that they didn't even know they was gonna ever be able to get. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it just failed like that. So I don't know. I like Boston right now. If I had to just be forced to pick somebody to win the in-season tournament, I like what they doing. Jaylen Brown's gonna always be what he be. 20 plus, 25, 30 or 40 point on any random night. He might just go. But like when you got them two and they both playing both ways, like that's tough.
See who you got.
You know what? For some reason, I can't sleep on Giannis and Dame, man. For some reason, their ability to get it going in the clutch, I can't count them out. You know, everybody wants to talk about their defense. It's sketchy, but if you look how they play in the clutch, when they need to get that dub, when they need to get the stop and get the buckets, they got two of the best in the game. It's still Dame time at the end of the day. So, you know, look, they're going to have a tough matchup with our Knicks on Tuesday. I don't know if the Knicks can get past that talent gap. Chris Middleton is starting to ramp up a little bit more. He's starting to
That's who I need to go crazy. Like, I know he had a long summer with his knee injury and stuff. I feel like he's still getting right. That's the only reason I can't go all the way in on them yet, because I feel like he ain't hit his stride. Like, he ain't all the way where he want to be and where he going to end up later on yet.
Fair enough. Al, where you going?
I like the Kings, man. I'm liking the Kings.
Oh, with the Kings.
He going to beam team. I like them too, though. I can't hold.
I just like they're scrappy, man. They're fun. They're exciting. They got a high-powered offense. You got Fox playing at a crazy level, especially how
about Monk.
Three, man.
Monk killing right now. Monk going for the sixth man.
They back in Kentucky, man. They just doing their thing. That's the hardest part about it. They went to college back. They was college backcourt mates. That's the dopest part to me.
Facts.
Between Monk, Fox, Sabonis, you know, you could just have him at the high post, and then he could just find anybody cutting and moving. Herder. I mean, they got so many guys.
They're dangerous.
They're dangerous. I like Keegan Murray too. That team's young. They're feisty. I like how feisty they are.
Q, J Rose in the chat. Well, one of the questions we forgot to ask: the point differential. Some players said, "Hey, you know, this was kind of out of my comfort zone. I didn't like running up to score." Other players say, "Hey, we this is what we playing for." What'd you think about that whole situation?
Run up the score. So what? Ooh. That's what this is like, especially with the way the in-season tournament set up. Like, what you knowing that, I feel like that was why Boston was able to knock us the Magic out, because they went into the game knowing like, all right, we gotta win by such and such. Like, we about to get that done if we can. It's on the other team, bro. Like this, we all men here. Ain't nobody feeling sorry for somebody in the league. If you can slide through a city and beat somebody by 40 and be sitting on the bench getting iced in the fourth quarter, that's what we gonna do. Ain't nobody gonna feel sorry about it, especially in this situation when you know that it's the point differential and stuff. Like I saw DeRozan got mad, and I understand him getting hot. I probably would have been somebody getting hot on the other end of it, but I mean that's just competitive nature. You know what I'm saying? Like when you and plus everything not going well for them this season. So I understand he's frustrated, but like, man, look, run that thing up. That's what it is.
Part of the game.
Play defense. Go play some defense.
You don't want me to do it, stop me. You feel me? You don't want me to do it, stop me.
Facts. Well, once again, we're talking to Quentin Richardson, one half of the Knuckleheads podcast. Also covers the Orlando Magic for Bally Sports Southeast. Q, last question for you, man. Knuckleheads podcast. Tomorrow, you guys are releasing the Vin Baker episode. Talk a little bit about that, man, because I feel like Vin Baker needs to get more flowers, man. Like,
nah, bro, Vin slept on.
His off the court stuff really overtook his talent. I like that you guys shedding light on it, man.
Nah, Vin was really one of them dudes. Like, you know, you gotta understand, we came into it. Like, Vin is an original Jordan brand member. So that's like, you know what I'm saying? He was our OG from that standpoint when we came in. He was part of the first class that was ever put on Jordan brand. Him, Ray Allen, Derek Anderson, Eddie Jones.
That Team Jordan.
Team Jordan. He had one of the first, him and Eddie Jones had the first player shoes. Like, he had to vindicate. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, people don't, you know what I'm saying? They kind of, like you say, everybody don't remember what everybody do, but like for me, that was one of my favorite dudes playing growing up. He was like one of the first real stretch bigs that could keep bring you outside and boogie you down and shoot jumpers and do everything. So
wingspan was crazy.
Yeah, so it was somebody who we always looked up to and had mad respect to. And I saw him this summer at the Jordan Board of Governors thing in Puerto Rico, and I was like, big homie, man, what's up, man? Because I hadn't seen him and been able to. I seen him on the bench and doing his thing, but I hadn't been able to really holler at him and chop it up. I was like, man, we gotta have you on the show, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he really one of them dudes, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And just, you know what I'm saying, he got a story to tell too. And I think, you know, he's in a place where he's doing well with some things. He's got some foundations established where he's reaching back and trying to, you know, help some people go through some things that he dealt with, and just trying to, you know, he is forever a solid dude. If nothing else, he always been a great person and a great dude, and that just shines through. You know what I'm saying? He is super humble dude, good dude. But more importantly, like for the real hoop heads, like he was really one of them.
Absolutely.
Believe that. Go do your research. He was a killer.
Yep, absolutely. Them Bucks teams with Vin Baker. Yeah, Big Dog Robinson, Sam Miami was on that team. They had a squad, man. Ray Allen. Yeah. I mean, come on, man. When he got gamers on that team, that was a squad right there, man.
Yes, Lord. Yes. And he did work in Seattle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
after going out there.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Q, when's the next Jordan shipment coming through, man? What are you expecting in the Christmas shipment? What is MJ sending you for the Christmas joint, man?
Bro, I literally have no clue unless some flash on, you know, sometimes it'd be like they show the little next shipments on the Instagram. I found out that I don't know, bro. I'm not one of them dudes that be like going crazy trying to see. I just, when it get here, I bust it down, open it up and see what's crazy. Yeah. And then I just, you know what I'm saying, I post it up, but like I don't be doing no research to find out or doing no hustling for it.
Yeah. You just get the care package, man. That's all up. Lifetime supply out.
Just super appreciative, bro, because they ain't got to do that. So I always be humble and appreciative about it, man. Mike, we got the best brand going though. Don't they really take care of us? So I'm always grateful.
Best way to be.
Best way to be, man. Well, Q, we definitely appreciate the time. We know you're a busy guy, so hopefully down the road we could do this again, man. See where the Magic are at, and continue to success to you. If I make it out to Vegas, I'll be sure to hit you up, man.
All right, man. I want to give a shout out to Jalen Brunson, man. I love the way my boy is handling his business and going about what he's doing. How we all know it ain't easy in New York, and I'm talking about he came in with a whole lot of expectations, and I feel like he done jumped over him and he doing his thing and he killing it, man. I like his demeanor. I like the way he go about his business, no back down, and I like him, man. I like what he doing out there. Salute Jay Brunson for real.
Tailor-made, man. Not everybody's built for this city. He certainly is, man. So we definitely happy to have him, no question.
Real talk.
For sure. Put that C patch on his chest, baby.
Needs to be, man. Well, Q, thanks again. All the best for the holiday, and we'll catch up soon, man.
All right, fellas. Appreciate y'all having me.
All right, no doubt. Once again, that was our guy, Quentin Richardson, on the check-in. Salute to everybody in the chat, man. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe to the channel. Another classic of the NBA report, Al. This is what we do. This is what we do here. If you're new in the chat, leave us a hashtag and we'll shout you out. But if you're new in the chat, this is what we do. We bring quality guests onto this show to have constructive and fun dialogue about the game we love. It's that simple. That simple, Al.
It is that simple. Guest after guest after guest. That's why it's great, man. That's where you all got to tap in. Share these links, share the videos, share the clips, do everything, support the channel, hit the subscribe button. Tell everybody about the NBA report who doesn't know, because it's just getting better from here. All right. It's just going to keep getting bigger and better from here. And it's already pretty big and great.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Once again, guys, remember that this show is presented by Prize Picks, daily fantasy made easy. Support our sponsors, support us. Go to prizepicks.com. Use promo code MBAR for an instant deposit match of up to $100. Shout out to Q Swan in the chat. Q Swan saluting Q Rich. So that goes together. Al, speaking of Prize Picks, man, let's go into last week's picks and we'll give our picks of the night. and then we'll finish with our NBA in-season tournament predictions, man. So let's go to Friday night. How'd you do Friday night on your prize picks?
CP, I think you already know, man. I had to send you this clip as soon as it happened.
Whoa,
send me the bills, baby. Oh, I love this. Look at Gamble giving me the $100 bills.
There you go.
There we go. Because I hit on all 6.
6 for 6. Whoa. So what was the whole thought process here, man? Walk us through this, man.
Okay. So, by the way, if you didn't sign up for Prize Picks, by the way, sign up. They're doing a promo right now. If you get all 6 right, you don't got to put any money down. They'll give you $125 right off the bat.
There you go.
So
there you go.
I got that $125, as you see. First thing I chose, Paolo Banchero to go over 22.
There you go.
Come on, man. Right. Playing the Washington Wizards.
Speaking of the Magic. Yeah, I had that one
too.
Good
and
one.
The Magic was in the work for that night, as Tom Thibodeau likes to say, because guess what? You had Paolo playing the Washington Wizards, which might as well be the Washington Turnstiles. So 22, more than 22 points? Absolutely. Give me that every day, all day. Next one, Pascal Siakam facing our New York Knicks. CP usually has a difficult time. He usually doesn't get over 21 points when he plays the New York Knicks. It's very seldom. He had 52, sure. That's an anomaly. But I chose for less than 21.5. He only got 21. So thank you, Pascal, for making me sweat a little bit while I was watching that game. Next one, I chose Scotty Barnes. He's been shooting the 3-ball really well. I chose more than 1.5. Knicks, look, we allow a lot of 3-point shots to be put up. Scotty Barnes shooting the 3-ball well. I thought he was going to make more than one. That he did. He made 3 that night.
Okay.
Julius Randle, CP. Look, people are sleeping on these Randle picks, and hopefully Prize Picks doesn't catch on, but Randle's leading the Knicks in assists, CP. Okay. 4.5 assists for Randle. I had to take the more on that and got 7
that was the easy one. Yeah.
Easy. Nikola Jokic playing the Phoenix Suns. Look, Jamal Murray was going to play that day. I didn't think he was going to hit 53.5 points, rebounds, assists, because I'm like, all right, his running mate is right there. There's no way that's going to happen. Even without Murray, because he was a late scratch, still wasn't able to do it, man. Only got you 42 points, rebounds, and assists, so I hit on that. And then for Jaylen Brown, this guy against the Philadelphia 76ers this season just will not cross the 20-point threshold. And that's where he stopped at 20 points against the Philadelphia 76ers. So I chose less than 23.5, and that's how I went 6 for 6. So for all you out there that say, "Oh, Alex doesn't get these right," Alex,
hit him.
Tell me now.
Cash
Teach
out,
me now.
Man. Good one, man. You know, for me on Friday, I continue to be the bridesmaid and not the bride. 3 out of 5. I get a little bit of change, but it's 3 out of 5. I haven't been able to go in just yet. And on Friday, some of my locks hit. My Jalen Brunson, Scotty Barnes, more than 4.5 3-pointers made combo hit. They combined for 6. I also liked the Paolo Banchero more than 22 points in the Magic's return game against the Wizards, and he finished with 26. I like that. I had KD with more than 31.5 points with the Suns and the Nuggets. Suns at home against the Nuggets. He finished with 30. I missed that by 2 points, 1 bucket. Dennis Schroeder, I had Schroeder with more than 14.5 points. Raptors at home against the Knicks. Knicks don't really guard the point guard position all too well. He finished with 10, but good win by the Knicks. And then in that game, I had Julius Randle with more than 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I thought that was a little bit of a low number, even though he's nursing a sore knee. He finished with 39. So, man, I was right on target, man. With the KD one and even Schroeder, I literally just missed it by 3 baskets. But I'll bounce back tonight, Al, because here is where I'm going tonight, man. I'll go rapid fire with this. And for you guys at home, to play Prize Picks is very easy. All you have to do is pick between 2 to 6 players. Alex picked his 6, and you're just going to predict whether or not the player is going to do more or less than the given stat projection that Prize Picks is outlined for that given night. More or less. You have a number of sports to choose from, number of stats to choose from. Here's where I'm going tonight, Alex. My Prize Picks lock of the night, Al. You know where I'm going? You know where I'm going?
Where?
Obi.
Oh,
Obi. Now, Obi is questionable tonight for this game. However, if he does play, Obi topping over his last 8 games, averaging 17.6 points per game on 63% shooting with a net rating of 11.9. This game against the Celtics tonight is going to be a track meet. It is going to be an offensive shootout. And with no Porzingis, If Obi plays, I'm going with Obi, man. He's hot right now. More than 11.5 points. That's my lock of the night. I'm also going with Domantas Sabonis with more than 17.5. Sacramento at home hosting the Pelicans. Also in that game, we just talked about Malik Monk. I think Malik Monk is hot. Sacramento wants to light the beam up in Vegas. I'm going with Malik Monk, more than 14.5 points. CJ McCollum has returned to the Pelicans lineup. I'm going with CJ McCollum with more than 3.5 rebounds. And also in this game, I'm going with the Big Z. Vegas wants Zion. I'm going with Zion with more than 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists in this game. Al, where are you going with your picks?
Wow. CP, because I won on 6, I'm going back to the well, going back and choosing 6 again. This is where I'm going. So, like you talked about my guy, Obi Toppin. I'm choosing Obi Toppin because he does play.
Great minds think alike. There we go.
Great minds think alike. Going to take more than 11.5, or more than 11.5 points. I went with Domantas Sabonis going against the Pelicans tonight. Okay. More than 7 assists. This guy is a good facilitator. He averaged 6 the first time, 8 the next time. I think he's going to keep up the hot streak and get over 7 just because this Kings offense with Fox hitting his stride and Monk doing the same thing. Tough to guard both of them. Sabonis can find both of those guys very easily. Kevin Huerter going back to the same well. Kevin Huerter for more than 6.5 3-pointers attempted. This guy will just continuously put up shots. I'm going to choose Kevin Huerter. Jason Tatum. I chose Jason Tatum, less than 20.5 field goals attempted. First time they played the Pacers, he only took 15 attempts. I'm expecting him to do the same thing because, look, you're going to have Jaylen Brown. You're going to have to get him involved as well. You got Drew Holiday. You got all these other guys. It will be a track meet. Sure, but I do not expect Jason Tatum to put up that many shots tonight. They may need him, but I think this is the time to get Jaylen Brown going. I think that's the direction they're going to do it. I then went to our team, CP. Jalen Brunson. He's not playing tonight. He's playing tomorrow. And if you guys don't know, I'm going to tell you this. If you're a Knicks fan, or even if you're not a Knicks fan, go over to KFTV, check out the Game of the Week preview. Our guest today gave us some tidbits on why to choose Jalen Brunson. I'm going to only say that. So if you want to learn why I chose more than 25.5 more on points, go over there and figure out why. Last, LeBron James.
There we go.
For more than 39.5 points, rebounds, and assists. You know he wants to win this. You know he wants another notch in that belt. And who are they playing, CP? The Phoenix Suns. Yep. Second time this season that he'll be playing against Kevin Durant. You don't think he's got something to prove against Kevin Durant? He takes these matchups personally. He's going to go off.
LeBron wants Vegas.
Actually, I think it's the third time they're facing Phoenix. Third time.
It is. Right. It is.
That's where I'm going.
Once again, play to win, but play responsibly, man. Go to prizepicks.com. Use promo code NBAR for an instant deposit match of up to $100. All right, Al, let's go rapid fire predictions. In-season tournament. Q said it's been a win. You said it's been a win. I think it's been a win, man. I'm looking forward to tonight's action, Tuesday's action, Thursday. I'm into it all, man. I'm locked in. I think the league has done a great job so far, and this is just year one. This is going to continue to evolve, and I think it's fun. I might be in the minority, but I think it's fun. And like many have said, it gives you something to talk about in December. We're not talking about tonight's regular season matchup against the Celtics and the Pacers, which it technically is. This is for something more, and I think they've done a good job. But on this matchup tonight, you have Porzingis out, Halliburton and Obi questionable. Halliburton is nursing a sore knee and also has an upper respiratory infection. This game is in Indiana. Last time these two teams played, Halliburton did not play, and the Celtics put a stomping on the Pacers, 155-104. How do you see this playing out? What's your prediction?
CP, the thing I will say is that even though they got stomped out the first time they played the Celtics, without KP being that rim protector, that is huge, okay? Now you're going to have Al Horford out there probably. Not the same thing. You don't have Robert Williams to go back to, okay? Sure, you got Luke Cornett in the wings as well, but that's a big difference from what they had last season, CP. So with that, I'm actually looking for kind of a similar, not necessarily a win, but I expect this to be a close game because did you see what the Pacers did without Halliburton to the Miami Heat? Did you see that?
63% they shot against the Miami Heat without Tyrese Halliburton, against that Heat defense on the road, and put up 144 points in the win.
Exactly. And going and looking at that, CP, now I get it. Miami, Boston, not the same teams. But the fact that you were able to go out there with a lineup of Andrew Nembhard, Miles Turner, Bruce Brown, Obi Toppin, and Buddy Hield, and bring in TJ McConnell back off the bench, who I'm not expecting to go 10 of 11 from the field again.
Yeah.
But that's a scrappy team, okay? And I'm looking at TJ McConnell again, even though I don't expect him to go 10 for 11, being that guard off the bench, the veteran savviness of him. I think when you look at Boston's bench, I don't think they'll be ready for that. I do not think they'll be ready for that. So that's why I think it's going to be a closer game than usual.
Are you going upset city? I feel like you want to go with that upset.
I want to go with upset city, CP. I kind of do, just because KP's a big factor for what the Celtics do. And if you're not going to have the rim protection, you're opening it up for Miles Turner, Obi Toppin, and guys just to keep cutting the lane. And look, I know you got Tatum. I know you got Brown on the other side, but I'm going with upset city tonight, CP. I'm going with the Indiana Pacers.
He's going with upset city, Pacers at home. I kind of want to go that way too, man. I kind of want to go that way too. I think no Porzingis. Look, Boston is Boston. They're one of the best teams in the league, if not the best. No question about it. Easy. I just feel like this Pacers offense, man, is something else. And the way to see them operate that way without Halliburton, see how Obi was playing in that game. Halliburton's playing with a chip on his shoulder. He's tired of losing, as he says. I feel like the Pacers might come out and play this game with a little bit more intensity, even though it seems like Boston wants it as well. Missoula certainly preached that, they want to play like that, and they use their point differential running up with the score. He wants to use that as a teachable moment for them, especially when they get in their droughts. If Halliburton plays, this is going to be much closer than the first matchup. Absolutely.
It's going to be closer, CP, and I'm going to try to swing you on this way, on why you should choose the Pacers and join me on the dark side.
Can't do it.
Kristaps Porzingis, even though he had 13 points, his defense, to stop that Pacers team, you need somebody to protect that rim. And if you're not going to have Kristaps Porzingis, are you really going to trust an Al Horford to now try to keep up with the fast-paced team of the Pacers?
That's true.
Are you going to rely on Luke Cornett? That's my biggest thing right there. Yeah, Tatum and all those other guys can go off. Absolutely.
Thing is, Pacers, they don't guard anybody, bro. So if the Celtics come out and they're just as hot, I got to go with their stars to get the job done. And they still, despite not having KP, they still got the best defensive backcourt in the league in White and Holiday, who did not see Halliburton before, but the Celtics were able to limit him last year. I think that could be the equalizer. I think it will be closer, but I'm going Boston, pulling one out, pause, late game execution. And I think that the White and Holiday chasing Halliburton around all night, coming back from a respiratory issue, if he plays, I think that could be a difference. I'm going with Boston to pull it out. Pause.
Yeah, I think where I have to wonder is Derek White and Drew Holiday going to have the same type of success they did in the first matchup, where Derek White went 7 of 10 from the field and Drew Holiday went 6 of 9. That's like great efficiency. But sure, it's the Pacers defense. But at the same time, like, you got to hit the shots even if you're getting the open looks.
Yeah. All right. How about Sacramento at home hosting the New Orleans Pelicans? Pelicans are up on the season series 2-0. Washed the Sacramento Kings, both at home in New Orleans, once by 36 and the other by 5. What do you think tonight? This time it's in Sacramento. What do you think?
Give me the Kings, CP, first of all.
Yeah.
Look, I already told you, like, I like the Kings. I think the King. I like how scrappy of a team they are. Fox is getting into rhythm. Monk has been on fire. The way Sabonis is just able to find anybody and just on the perimeter or cutting is just spectacular. You got Keegan Murray, who can guard defensively. Herter is a solid wing player as well. This team's got depth, man. This team's got depth. Now, don't get me wrong. Pelicans got Zion playing at full speed with Brandon Ingram. These guys have been playing well too. I'm not trying to shy away from what the Pelicans have been doing. They've been solid. But there's just something about the Kings and that high octane offense, once it starts clicking, that I'm not confident that the Pelicans can keep up with. And I'm not really confident that they can stop defensively. They don't necessarily have the same perimeter type defense as what you talk about for like the Celtics in order to be like that equalizer. Now, do you have Herb Jones out there? Sure, he's a good perimeter defender. But I'm not looking at CJ McCollum as a guy who's going to lock down anybody. And then you got Brandon Ingram, who capable, but I'm still looking at the Kings on the other side offensively getting to their spots.
Kings at home are going to be too tough. Their fans are into this thing. They're into this thing. They're 6-2 at home. Pelicans 3-6 on the road. I do think Zion and Ingram will be able to get theirs as they usually do, but I'm going with the Kings and their depth, crowd factor, coaching. Fox is playing very well right now. Malik Monk is playing very well off the bench. He's their spark plug. You still have the Sabonis factor. Kings are starting to get it together. And I think they roll on this one. Despite the 2 games that they lost to the Pelicans on the road, I think they roll on this one. So I'm going with the Kings to knock them off and head to the semifinals.
Light the beam.
Yeah, the semifinals to play the Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers and Suns, Al. This one at home. Lakers already beating the Suns this year. I've always told you, man, I feel like this tournament is tailor-made for LeBron James. But politics aside, Lakers are looking good right now. Their big threes doing the damn thing between LeBron and AD. Austin Reeves is playing fairly well off the bench. You're getting a big contribution from a friend of our program, Cameron Reddish, who a lot of Knicks fans wanted to cast aside as a bum. Sorry, Tom Thibodeau. Once you go to LeBron, he gets you right. And Cam Reddish is doing a good job getting them some wing defense. I had some good offensive outbursts against the Rockets. Cam Reddish is playing good ball. With the Suns, look, KD's playing phenomenally right now. Phenomenally. He's averaging like 30 points a game in his last 10. He's killing it. He's dominant. But the health factor. What's going to happen with Booker? Bradley Beal's not going to play with the Suns. I just still think they're still trying to get it together. Whereas with the Lakers, they're mostly at full strength. They don't have Gabe Vincent, and I don't believe Jared Vanderbilt is back just yet, but they've gotten like 90% of their team. 8-2 at home right now. LeBron wants to get to Vegas. He does. He wants to add that championship to his resume. Look, the Lakers defense can get caught. We saw that the Sixers put it on them just a week ago. They lost by 44 points to the Sixers. So they could certainly get vulnerable, and Phoenix with their outside attack could potentially get hot. But I just think the Lakers are going to be too much inside and outside for the Suns to contend with.
For sure. For game time decision right now, from what I'm seeing, it's Gabe Vincent for the Lakers, and it's Eric Gordon for the Phoenix Suns. I have to agree with you. It's the Lakers in this matchup. It's essentially the same team from last season. D'Lo, Davis, LeBron James. You also got Austin Reeves. That unit's just been together. It's more fluid. I mean, it's such an in and out lineup with the Suns, as we already talked about. I look at LeBron James and Anthony Davis as the guys who are really going to control this team. I mean, you don't really have an answer for LeBron James. You just hope that KD scoring can keep up. And then when you look at Anthony Davis, who's going to stop him? Nurkic? I don't really look at Nurkic as an Anthony Davis stopper. So between all of that, I think the Lakers will get this. Also, you got to consider Austin Reeves has been playing better off the bench. I like him off the bench. That scoring, when you look at what the Suns have, not similar in any regard. So this is really, you can just chalk this up to the Lakers, CP.
I'm going with the Lake Show. I'm going with the Lake Show as well.
LeBron has to show Udoka that he's like, hey man, don't talk to me like that. I'm going to show you why I'm going to win this entire thing.
Yeah. And they tossed Udoka out of that game for that. We really should talk about that, but we really want to focus this show on the season tournament. Next show, we'll get to the theatrics, but I didn't like how the league handled that, man. You gotta let them hash it out, man. Let them trash talk. The referees have to stay out of the game. Just focus on the movement of the ball, the X's and O's. Stay out of the extracurriculars, man. Let that handle itself. But anyway, the last game on the docket, Al. No, we didn't forget. Knicks versus Bucks. We've been slicing this thing up, carving this thing up since yesterday. What do you think, man?
Knicks. I'm taking Knicks, man. I'm taking the revenge game. I'm taking the revenge.
Let's go. TM
taking the revenge. I'm putting the KFTV hat on, CP.
Let's go.
I'm putting the KFTV hat on.
Let's go.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
All right. This is a revenge game for the New York Knicks. All right.
Talk about it.
You got the Bucks perimeter defense. I just previewed this game today.
Yeah.
All right. Our guest, Rohan, was like, not great. But then, so for me, I'm like looking at, Jalen Brunson, like, oh, this is the green light. This is the ultimate green light, right?
Rohan Kadi from the Hiro Step podcast, Bucks
yes,
podcast.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yes, Rohan Kadi. Thank you. Rohan Kadi talking about how the perimeter defense isn't great. And then you also have, do they got Giannis? Yes. Do they got Dame offensively? Can the Knicks match that? I think they can. I think if you get the Randall that you've been getting over the last couple of weeks, guy who gets downhill, attracting the double team, finding the guys on the perimeter and cutting, between those two guys, they should be able to get the job done. And CP, we're talking about a Knicks team who kept up they lost by 5 to a Bucks team that was shooting 40% from over 40% from the field, 50% from downtown. This is a Knicks team that was shooting 40% from the field, and I believe under 30%, if not 30%, from downtown as well. And the fact that they were able to do that, where you had Brunson go for 45, Randall had 16 points. Your next best scorer was Quentin Grimes, who shot phenomenally that game, and then quickly off the bench with 14. Why can't the Knicks show up for this, especially if they after the way they played in Toronto, and take this game away from the Milwaukee Bucks? This is not the same defensive team that would stonewall you in the paint and prevent you from getting into your shots. I think the Knicks have a really good opportunity in this. What say you?
I mean,
I already know the way that you start this is good God, get me out of this chair. Someone get the ambulance, because I'm gonna faint after CP tells me who's gonna win.
We've talked about this. I want this to be a revenge game. I want to see the Knicks be able to do this. I want to see them get to Vegas and accomplish this thing. This is a tough matchup. It's a tough matchup on the road against a Milwaukee team that is, even though they don't have it all together, they're working on it, and they have the talent to get them by while they figure it out. This is still one of the best teams in the NBA, and a hodgepodge group that still has no offensive chemistry and defensive, and they're still working it through because they have two of the more dominant players in the game who can just demoralize you by themselves. And I think that's going to be the problem, between Giannis, Dame, Middleton. You got to factor in Portis off the bench. Rohan talked about Brook Lopez. The Brook Lopez effect. Is he going to bring Mitchell Robinson from the basket? Is he going to be able to knock down threes, which is going to absolutely hurt the Knicks? So I want to see how they can weather that storm. And then in crunch time, we know Jalen Brunson's going to be there. Jalen Brunson's going to be in this game. The Bucks have nobody on the perimeter that will, our guest Rohan talked about James Johnson or the kid, the young player there for the Bucks, but no one's on that team is going to stop Jalen Brunson. The problem is Julius Randle going to come along for the ride? I mean, his last 3 games, he's Eastern Conference Player of the Week, just announced. Yep. Congratulations, well-deserved. He had a monster week, but this is the big game. This is money time. Where is he going to be? In his last 7 games against the Milwaukee Bucks, Al, he's averaging 15 and 10. That's great, but on 31% shooting from the field and 15 from 3. Oof. 31 from the field, 15 from 3. This is the problem. It's a tough matchup, not for Brunson, but for Randle, and he's got to be along for the ride. This is every man in the rotation has to contribute. Keep the turnovers down, force the Bucks into some turnovers, and the Bucks will allow you to score. Like, there'll be opportunities. But your guys,
they'll give you plenty of opportunities.
They'll give you plenty of opportunities. But is Julius going to be along for the ride? And that's what I have to see, man. This is a big one on the road. He had, like we said in Knicks Weekly, he had his opportunities against Giannis on his drives to really make some things happen, and he had success. But then most of the beginning of the game, he's settling for outside jumpers and allowing them to take away his drives with Lopez helping to protect the paint. That's the biggest dynamic. That's the biggest matchup that I want to see in tomorrow's game, to see if the Knicks can do it. I just think it's a tall order, and I'm going with the Bucks.
Look, see, you know what you got to do, man?
Yeah.
You got to jump with me. All right? The window's open. Get ready to jump. All right,
Listen,
man?
I take calculated jumps, man. I take calculated jumps. Calculated jumps. But look, the way the Knicks have been playing as of late, with Brunson and DiVincenzo bombing away from 3, like, they have potential.
Here's the thing, and I mentioned this to Rohan on the show, right? The Knicks are 3rd when it comes to second chance points, while the Bucks are 26. Knicks are averaging 16.3 points, while you have when you have the Bucks who are averaging 12.7 points per game. Knicks are 5th when it comes to points scored off of turnovers. Bucks are 29th. I also mentioned that the Knicks are 13th in limiting opponents' fast break points compared to the Bucks, who are 25th. All that screaming to me is, which we also didn't get in the last game against the Bucks. We didn't have RJ putting heart into the starting rotation. So that means the bench got muted to a certain degree, and that means our starting rotation got muted because Hart also wasn't shooting threes like that. When you had RJ who was just launching away and shooting 40% to start the season.
Yeah.
With having RJ back, if this team's fully healthy for tomorrow, I expect the Knicks bench to be able to overpower the Bucks bench. And I think that if you get that, then I think it really sets everything up tomorrow for even in the game where you had Brunson score 45 and you lost by 5 points, if you get the bench of Brunson, I think that's enough. Although I am pretty confident that Julius will show up for this game. I think we're going to see, I think we'll get the Julius game that we all deserve. If not,
let's go.
You know what, man? We got more concerns that we even are ready to talk about at this point in the season.
There we go. There we go, man. All right, man. Great show. We had a fantastic show today. We had the Magic check-in report, did our in-season tournament previews and predictions on Wednesday's show. We're going to recap Monday and Tuesday's action with our guy Andrew Salop, the 1-2 combo, and then preview the semifinals, man, in-season tournament.
I'm excited.
I'm excited, man. So, Al, great show. Salute to producer Gamma. Salute to Tyler. Salute to the whole crew, NBA Report crew. Remember that this show is brought to you by Prize Picks, daily fantasy made easy. Go to prizepicks.com. Use promo code NBAR for an instant deposit match of up to $100. Al, I'll check you tomorrow. Knicks Fan TV. Great show, man. Great job today. We out here. Peace.